Evidently someone was really unhappy with her hash browns and decided to throw them at the window. Interesting. Yo, what's up? Duff here, reporting in on an absolutely beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Southwest Florida. Yeah! It's right around 80 degrees, something like that. And I'm heading out for a ride on my InMotion V12S. Yeah, I don't think I've ridden I've probably ridden it all since the new year. So this is the first time I've been out on the V12S in 2026. And in general, you guys haven't seen a whole lot about me, and I'll kind of fill you in. Let's catch up. I'll tell you what's been going on. I don't know, at this point, I've just gotten back on the wheel after a long hiatus, but at this point, I think I can say pretty definitively that I'm not a big fan of the stock tire in the V12S. That being said, I'm not sure that I've seen anyone swap it out for anything else, but I don't know. I just don't love the way it feels. Unless I run the PSI down into the upper 20s, it feels a little wobbly to me, which I deal with by carving constantly when I'm on the wheel. But yeah, I'm curious. I'll have to look and see if anyone else has swapped out the tire in the V12S, because I'm not loving it, and I never have. So you may or may not have noticed that I haven't done a lot of content recently, other than shorts. I've been throwing shorts up there on a pretty regular basis, mostly to have to do with 3D printing, just because I can do them quickly and easily, and they don't require a large time investment. But as far as conventional videos go, not so much, right? A couple live streams, and just had several things going on, but really the most concerning thing that's been going on is since the end of January, I've been dealing with a health issue with Elsa, and it's consumed a lot of my time, energy, and money in the last, 3 weeks, something like that. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm letting a little air out. It's just I don't like the way it feels. A Yao-Ning, I don't know how you pronounce it. Never heard of this tire before, and that might be part of the reason that I don't like it so much. Who knows? So yeah, let me back up. I would say for like the last couple years, Elsa has developed a couple things. She's developed a almost obsession with eating non-food items and destroying them and ingesting them. Toilet paper, tissues, cardboard, rope, and most recently a sock. And usually when she ingests these, she will either throw up or she'll poop it out. And I just kind of wrote it off as to, this is just part of what's going on. She's going to be 11 this week, so she's not a young pup anymore. And at the end of January, on a Friday night, she had eaten a sock. She ate a sock, and I'm like, okay, great, she ate something again. But it resulted in her throwing up 3 times over the weekend, not wanting to really eat. And after she threw up for the last time on Sunday night, I made the decision I was gonna go to the vet and get her checked out, which I don't like the vet. I don't like doctors, I don't like going to the vet. So I take her to the vet and I tell him what happened, and I said that I was concerned that she had a potential GI blockage going on from this sock, which can be really bad for a dog. So they were glad that I brought her in. They did some x-rays, and they did not see an obstruction from the sock. I think she might have actually thrown it up during one of the sessions over the weekend, but it was just hard to tell because it was a white sock and chewed a little bit, so it was kind of hard to tell. So evidently, no blockage, so that's good. But while they had her in there, they also ran blood work. I guess as a precautionary thing, they ran her blood work. And when they ran her blood work, it indicated pancreatitis, which could have just been from throwing up and stuff, and 2 very, very dangerously high values related to her kidney function. And that wasn't good. For about a year, I would say, they had mentioned during her physicals that some of those values were up on the higher end of normal, but not of concern, but something to watch, right? But this was like 4-alarm fire. These numbers basically indicate like kidney failure. And I'm like, what the hell? So what they do in that situation is they put her on IV fluids. She was on IV fluids all day at the vet. They indicated they thought it would be best if she got IV fluids all through the night. So I had to take her to the emergency vet, the only one that's open 24 hours, and have IV fluids given to her all night. and her numbers did come down. They're still in the danger zone, but they did come down as a result of the IV fluids. So, God, there's so many facets to this, but let's see if I can give you a Cliff Notes version. She also has been on a medicine called Proin to assist with incontinence. She's had incontinence issues going on for, again, another year or two, something like that. And she's been taking this medicine daily. And evidently there are possibilities of this medicine causing elevated blood pressure. And if you have elevated blood pressure, it can stress the kidneys as well. You know, I've done tons of reading on this stuff, as you can imagine. So they had me take her off the Proin, and we've gone through, oh boy, it's windy. We've gone through several rounds of blood work numbers and just monitoring how she was, because she wasn't eating well, very lethargic, so we were concerned. So they gave me an appetite stimulant, actually, that I gave her for a week that actually got her eating better. So that was good, because once she started to get some more food and calories in her, she started acting more normal, except for one thing. Well, actually, two things. Again, over the last year or two, she has been drinking more water, which can be a sign of, you know, potential kidney issues. But that has ramped up even more. She's drinking lots and lots of water. It's kind of like their natural reaction. If they have kidney problems, they're going to drink more water. And then the other issue has been, since taking her off the Proin to control the incontinence, she has basically next to no control. Every time she sits down, she gets up, there's a urine there. So I've gone through several rounds of buying and reevaluating what to do about it. Have absorbent pads, several different absorbent pads. I have an absorbent bed cover. I even have dog diapers. Yes, dog diapers, which I wasn't really using all that much, but I did put them back on her today, because it's getting to the point where it's just kind of crazy. You know, the combination of her drinking lots of water, not having control, it's just nonstop. In addition, another thing that's recommended by the vet was to change her to a renal-friendly diet. I wasn't really familiar with renal-friendly diets. I wasn't really familiar with how the kidneys react to different types of diets. But evidently, one of the worst things for a dog with kidney issues is too much protein and phosphorus. I guess both of those things are difficult on the kidneys. So the vet recommended that I look into getting her onto a renal diet, which I have. I have the stuff. I've been trying to get her to eat it. Unfortunately, Elsa is also an extremely picky eater. So getting her to eat this stuff has not been as successful as I want it to be. We're still mixing in stuff we were giving her previously with the renal food, with the hope that she eventually would just go 100% renal food, renal-friendly food. Renal food requires a prescription, so of course, not cheap, as you can imagine. Nothing with this has been cheap. I was doing my bills today, and I use Quicken to manage my budget, and I have categories for different kinds of spending, and one of those categories is pet expenses. And when I saw my little pie chart pop up with my expenditures over the last month, my pet expenses were approaching $5,000. Yeah, $5,000. It's been interesting. And while I'm talking about the money, it ties into my pet insurance. I've carried pet insurance on Elsa forever. I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, just for this situation, right? Well, back in November, I switched pet insurance carriers, and I switched because my current carrier, and I'm almost positive this is an intentional thing they do when a dog reaches a certain age, they sent me a letter saying that they were switching the policy around, where they capped the annual amount that they would pay out, raised the price, and reduced the service that you were getting pretty significantly. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. So I dropped them, and I picked up insurance that was recommended by the same company or the same insurance agent that I get my homeowner's insurance through, called Prudent Pet. Yeah. So I submit, when you sign on with a new insurance company, you have to submit your last year of vet records. I submitted these expenses, various visits, lots of expenses, and they denied them all citing pre-existing condition. And the pre-existing condition was the vet noting that Elsa's kidney values were elevated. Not dangerous, but they were elevated, and they were watching them, and that's all the insurance company needed to flag it as pre-existing condition and to omit them from paying for anything. So I didn't take that, I didn't just accept that, I appealed it. They didn't like my appeal. I talked to my vet about it. My vet was pissed off about it, and she actually has contacted the insurance company on my behalf. It hasn't been decided one way or the other yet, but she's giving them all sorts of medical reasons why at least the initial visit that was based on her ingesting the sock should be covered, which was the biggest bill of all of them. So we'll see what happens there, but I don't have a lot of optimism when it comes to getting reimbursement for those expenses. But you know, I can make it work. It's just disappointing that I have pet insurance for this very reason, and it's looking like I'm not going to be able to use it for that reason. So anyways, just to put a quick bow tie on it, like I said, Elsa's doing better. I mean, her energy's good. She's happy. I think she's confused by the fact that she's always leaking urine, and that's why I'm trying to get her to get accustomed to wearing a diaper, just to make it a little bit better for her and for me, because it's not good for her to be like laying in urine, and I don't know. And there's a possibility the vet may tell me that I can go back onto that medicine as well. I have to talk to them about that some more. But yeah, so that's been taking up a lot of my focus. You know, there was a point when after she was released from the vet the first time, I mean, she just seemed lethargic and unhappy, and I was just contemplating what it's going to be like if I lose her. I mean, it was really, really scary stuff. So I'm glad she's doing better now. Dogs can live years with kidney issues. It's all a matter of just how well you manage it. So I'm going to try to manage it the best that I can. All right, so enough about pet health problems. Wheel-wise, let's see, what's going on wheel-wise? Well, you have the Alien Rides, Shane Chen ITC filing fiasco. Last things I heard about it is the ITC delayed it, and there's questions if the case is going to even be heard at all because of a potential lack of validity of their claim, which is good news for us, right? Myself and a bunch of other people did write in our comments, and you had to jump through some hoops to get them submitted to the ITC, but we did do that, and it seems like it did have an impact, so that's a great thing. I did do a short video about this, and I still question what the hell Kevin was thinking when he did this. And the odd thing is he actually, I think if I read correctly, he made this arrangement with Shane Chen back in 2021. So this was just kind of on the back burner. Maybe him thinking he could just pull it out when he needed it. And based on some of the financial distress Alien Rides appears to be in, I guess he thinks he now needs it. But the problem with that plan is he's basically sabotaged himself in the community forever, reputation-wise. So I'm not really sure what the hell he was thinking. It's interesting, the companies that are fighting this ITC filing, or at least are listed, or seem to be united in fighting it, is King Song, InMotion, Libra Kim, and Nosfed, with Bagode being glaringly missing from that. I remember a few years ago, I don't remember the details, but I think Bagode had actually paid for that those rights in China, and I believe that's why they were able to make Libra Kim not be able to sell wheels with pads on them. I believe they did something similar, so maybe because they had that connection to Shane Chen, they did not participate in the action against him. I don't know. Go keeps on trying to push their direct market. They're trying to direct a customer market, kind of trying to imitate InMotion. They have a service center. Sean Johnson is handling their service in the United States, and Liam from EUCA Underground, he signed on to be like their sales or aftermarket sales support in the US. He basically shut down EUCA Underground and now is working for Bagode. And I got that information on my last live stream from Marty. And I thought that was kind of surprising, especially with the way Bagode is rumored to be in financial distress, not paying employees for prolonged periods of time. I thought it was interesting. I assume that Liam is happy with whatever Bagode arrangements they made for him, but I'd be concerned about them actually sticking. But I guess we'll find out. And Bagode, I thought, what's the latest promotion they're doing, Bagode? The Blitz Pro? They're trying to blow them out at a low price. I don't know. I don't care about Pagode wheels at all. At all. I know there's a segment of the community that still does, but it's certainly not me. I'm over in the government complex right now, and for the first time in a long time, I am now forced to be nervous when I'm passing law enforcement because of the crackdowns that are going on with personal electric vehicles in Florida and elsewhere. I had mentioned how I did a video about how in Virginia, or in the live stream I talked about that, yeah, in the live stream. Virginia was introducing legislation to, statewide greatly limit PEVs. In the meantime, New Jersey has actually passed it. Same kind of format, limiting devices, 28 miles an hour top speed, no more than 750 watt motors. If you're going to be in the roadways, you have to have insurance and registration, even though there is really no way to register those vehicles currently. But Florida it's a Me Too kind of world when it comes to legislation, often. And Florida is looking at doing something similar. Now, it's mostly because of e-bikes. E-bikes are everywhere down here. People are riding in the bike lane on e-bikes at 40 miles an hour sometimes, and it's getting a lot of attention. Sometimes they're doing 30 miles an hour on the sidewalk. It's cheap transportation for these people, but unfortunately now we all are going to have to deal with it. I'm waiting. I don't know. I think sooner rather than later I'm going to probably wind up having a conversation with a deputy. They're going to probably stop me at some point, and that will be interesting. Evidently someone was really unhappy with their hash browns and decided to throw them at the window. All right, a while back, last year sometime, I made a TikTok about this. You see this? See this line of coffee coming down my cup? It's because there's a seam on the lip of the cup. And for some reason, Dunkin Donut employees intentionally or just obliviously put the area where your mouth goes aligned with the seam. And when you do this, this is what happens every time. It leaks on you. It annoys the hell out of me. That's why I made the TikTok. But honest to goodness, they do this more often than they don't. And I don't understand why it takes a rocket surgeon to figure out how you should put a lid on a coffee cup, but evidently it does. So I'm gonna rotate this lid around so I don't have coffee dripping on me once again. And doing that while riding wasn't the smartest thing because I hit a little bit of a bump and I spilled coffee on myself and a little bit on the V12S as well. Oh well. Look, no more leaks, no more leaks. Amazing. So I'm trying to think, is there any new wheel news that I'm omitting here? If there is, I'm not sure. I mean, the Lynx S has been getting a lot of praise. Lynx S seems like a great wheel. The MOSFET Aeon, a lot of praise, seems like a great wheel. But I haven't heard any rumors or news about upcoming stuff. And that doesn't mean there hasn't been some, but that could just mean that I missed it just because my focus has been elsewhere. I saw Marty got his Falcon Pro, with his shit-eating grin. Oh, Marty and his wheel poses. Every time I see one, I just kind of chuckle a little bit inside. It does feel good to get out on a wheel. I've said for as long as I've owned wheels that they're a great way to kind of just forget about your troubles. Don't worry, be happy. And a wheel's a good way to kind of kickstart you in that direction. Oh yeah, yesterday was Valentine's Day, right? Happy belated Valentine's Day. I had a really nice day with my my girlfriend. I did participate in my first yard sale Saturday morning. I'm in Sugden Park. Not the best idea. Too many people here right now. Too many people. Sneaking out the back gate here, get out of there. Way too many people. And it drives me the most crazy is when you're on a situation like that, these people are walking in the park, walking down a beautiful day out in nature, and they got their heads down in their phones as they're walking in nature at the park. And the side effect of that is when someone has their face down in their phone and they're walking on the path, they have a tendency to wobble back and forth because they're not paying attention, which makes it potentially dangerous for someone on a wheeled device to go past them because you never know if they're going to wobble your way. Oh, I didn't finish my yard sale thoughts. Yeah, participating in a yard sale, community had a yard sale. I'm like, okay, I'll participate. I don't like yard sales. They're a pain in the ass. Typically, you spend all kinds of time and effort preparing for them, and you your effort versus reward is usually very, very small as far as time spent versus money generated. So many years ago, I kind of abandoned that model altogether, and I just, if I don't want something, I just give it away. Give it away / throw it out, depending on what it is, and just call it good. You know, I used to be of the mindset like, hey man, I paid this much money for that thing. I paid that much money for this thing. I can't just get rid of it and just throw it out. You know, that'd be stupid, right? Well, that kind of mindset results in huge amounts of things being accumulated that you really no longer need. And it's just, take it from me, I switched my mindset on that about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and never regretted it for a second. Yeah, I have a lot less stuff, and I'm happy that I do. It's way better. So, anyways, yeah, yard sale. Probably the last yard sale I'll be involved with ever. That's my feeling. Because it's just a pain in the ass. I'm at the pickleball center if you haven't noticed. So if I haven't whined and complained about enough reasons why I haven't been riding all that much, the other thing I've been dealing with is the return of IT band related pain on my right leg. A few months it felt like I had finally gotten over the hump with that, but no, it's back. It's hit and miss. You know, one day it'll be not bad. The next day I'll be limping like a maniac. I've still been trying to play some pickleball, not nearly as much as I want to, and usually when I do, I pay the price. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating, and of course, it affects my riding as well. Getting on and off a wheel with my right leg hurting. It's going to probably, just doing this small ride is going to probably exacerbate it, I would imagine. So, yeah, dealing with that too. One other thing I wanted to mention, I think I mainly talked about it on live streams. You see my shirt here, right? It took me a while to mention it. This is the new EUC Army shirts that I had designed. Has the EUC Army logo on the front. Has the EUCArmy.com website on the back. If you are a channel member, I will send you one of these shirts for free. If you are in the United States and or, well, Canada is going to still be expensive to send to Canada probably. If you're in the United States, I'll send it for free. If you're out of this country, I still will send you the shirt. I won't charge you for the shirt, obviously. But if you're willing to help me with the shipping costs to get it to you, I'll send you a shirt. If you are an existing channel member, just as a nice little thanks for supporting me. Some people have supported the channel for coming up on 5 years. Crazy, right? So if you're interested in a EUC Army shirt, I have a pretty good selection of sizes available. Just send me an email at duff@eucarmy.com. Tell me who you are, tell me your YouTube name so I can make the association in my member list. And yeah, I'll send you a shirt. No bubbles, no troubles. All right, back home after I never really changed the default values in the screen. You can just, if you just hold down, do a long press on the value, you can change it. Maximum speed on that ride, 30 miles an hour, by the way. Don't go that fast on the V12S very much, just again, because I don't feel as stable as I like to be on this wheel. But anyways, felt good to get out there. Hopefully I got you guys caught up on the latest and greatest with me, and we'll just play from here. Appreciate any positive thoughts regarding Elsa you can send my way. Unfortunately, with kidney issues, I mean, there's not, you don't fix it, you manage it. You know, you manage it to try to make their quality of life as good as possible for as long as possible, and that's basically what I have to do. So, anyways, if you found this video interesting, please think about giving it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you're going to subscribe, hit the notify bell that's over there somewhere. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. I read all the comments and respond to almost all of them as well. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you. Thank you. Not a lot of people do, but if you did, let me know by putting in the comments #catchup. That's #catchup, and I will know that you made it to the end of the video. And I think that's all I got for now. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. Hope you're doing well. And have a great week up ahead. I'm off tomorrow, by the way, so just FYI. Hope you have a great week. I'm repeating myself. That means I'm running out of things to say. So till next time, Duffman out. And that was graceful. Fun fact, did you know that most of my wheels live in the garage now? Aero, Patin, V12S, V13. Only wheels I have inside of my office right now are the V9 and the InMotion E20. That's it. 6 wheels total.